Angry Cardiff City boss Neil Warnock has threatened to play the reserves at Manchester City on Wednesday, and the fact that could have a negative impact on Liverpool has more than a hint of irony about it. Warnock was left fuming after late decisions went against his side in Sunday's 2-1 defeat at home to Chelsea. With the Bluebirds leading 1-0, Cesar Azpilicueta headed home an 84th-minute equaliser for the visitors that was allowed to stand despite the Chelsea skipper clearly being in an offside position. Antonio Rudiger was then fortunate to escape a red card following a tussle with Cardiff forward Kenneth Zohore, with Chelsea winning the game in stoppage time when Ruben Loftus-Cheek headed in a Willian cross. A furious Warnock ensured that his displeasure was noted at full time as he stared down referee Craig Pawson and his officials, and after the match he suggested that he'd rest his first-team players for the visit to the Etihad Stadium in an apparently defiant response to officials and the media. "I think we can keep the score down at Man City. I think we can keep it to single figures," Warnock told reporters. "But I might play the reserves down there. It'll be interesting to see what the journalists think of that." "We keep getting knockbacks. I will probably play the under-23s on Wednesday against Manchester City and try to keep it down to 10 or 11. It doesn't matter who you play at the minute, it is who has a flag in his hand and who has a whistle." Pep Guardiola's side are of course good enough to beat anyone, regardless of team selection, but Warnock's suggestion led fans to recall what he said about Liverpool back in 2007, when the Reds named a weakened side for a Premier League match at Fulham. Rafael Benitez's men had just qualified for the Champions League final in Athens by beating Chelsea on penalties in a thrilling Anfield semi-final. Their starting 11 against the Blues in that last four clash was Pepe Reina, Steve Finnan, Jamie Carragher, Daniel Agger, Arne Riise, Jermaine Pennant, Javier Mascherano, Steven Gerrard, Bolo Zenden, Gerd Kulik, and Peter Crouch. But then 4 days later at Craven Cottage, Benitez made 9 changes to his side. The team he named that day was Reina, Alvaro Arbeloa, Gabriel Paletta, Sami Hyypia, Emiliano Insua, Pennant, Xabi Alonso, Momo Sissoko, Marc Gonzalez, Robbie Fowler, and Craig Bellamy. Fulham won 1-0 courtesy of a Clint Dempsey goal, and the victory, their first in 11 games, was key in their battle against relegation. The Whites ended up surviving by a point, with Warnock's Sheffield United going down after they lost to fellow relegation battlers Wigan on the final day. And the Blades boss remained furious with Benitez and Liverpool for that Craven Cottage team selection, admitting he'd always be bitter about it. "I will never forget Liverpool," Warnock told the Evening Standard in 2011. "The team Benitez put out 4 years ago was a disgrace and you can never forget anything like that." "I love Liverpool, the club and their manager Kenny Dalglish. They are going to be a real force over the next few years, but I think even their fans were disgusted with what happened." It kept Fulham in the league, so I'm sure they were not bothered about Benitez's selection. But it will always be there in my mind, and I will always be bitter about it. The Premier League have changed the rules now, but that will always be a major disappointment for me.